Hey you guys, my name is Charity. Welcome to Scrapfaire Knits. This is going to be a mostly knitting and fiber related podcast, and I'm going to try not to shake the camera. I'd like to welcome anyone who's taking a few minutes to try this out. I hope you like it. I hope you'll come back. Hope I like it. Hope I do it again. And I'd really like to give a shout out to Stacy at Stress Knits and oh gosh, I can't remember her name because I'm on camera. Transitory from Pins, Feathers, and Pearls for really kind of giving me the courage to try this out. I've been wanting to do a podcast for a while just because I thought it would be a fun way to connect with the community, especially one that I'm so excited to now be a part of. And so here we go. I've been knitting since, well, let me just tell you, it's a little bit of a story. For Christmas 2013, one of my coworkers gave me a Martha Stewart knitting loom, and I didn't touch it other than to look at it and kind of figure out how to put it together for about 10 months. I think it was October of 2014. I got it out and decided I would make everyone that I was giving a Christmas gift to that year a hat. And I learned how to loom a hat, and I made gifts for everyone. And I wanted to make stuff that wasn't just hats. So I did a lot of research and I started finding patterns, but most of the patterns I wanted to make were not for loom knitted items. So I decided I would get some needles and learn how to really knit. And fast forward to today, I'm really happy with the progress I'm making in my knitting. And I just want to be more a part of the community, so I decided to start my own podcast. I have a recently finished project that I have to show you today. These are socks made with lollipop yarn in the By Felicia colorway. This is my second pair of socks that I've made that fit me. I've made one other pair of socks, so this is my third set of socks ever. The first ones were so big they didn't fit me, they fit my husband and he wears them. But this is a Fish Lips Kiss heel, and this heel technically is my third Fish Lips Kiss heel, but it was the first one sock that I knit a Fish Lips Kiss heel on, and it wasn't until I finished the second one, which is in the stripes are going the opposite way on purpose actually. So I knit this one, and then I realized that this heel I had left 1/3 too many stitches on. So I ripped it all the way back, started over, and then they matched. So I'm really happy with the way these socks turned out. It's also the first time I did a gourd toe, and I did these socks 2 at a time, cuff down. So, I'm sorry, there's a hair on there, it's mine. They were a lot of fun. I did wear them the day after I washed and blocked them, and then I immediately washed and blocked them so that I could show them on my podcast, my little Scrapfaire Knits podcast. So that's my most recently finished project. I have 2 projects on the needles to share with you today. The first one is a hoe. This is a fingerless glove. And it's made out of Lolo Did It yarn in a club colorway. It's the Breakfast Club colorway. That was her February Yarn Club colorway. I've also got her March Club colorway in my stash. I just finished this one this morning, and I haven't cast on the second one yet. But the bottom has this lace and bead detail, which you probably can't see the beads. It hasn't been blocked yet. I'm hoping they'll show up a little better, but they really match well. Like they're shiny, but they're kind of a sea glass finish, glass bead, and they're blue, and they're almost the same blue as in the yarn. I feel like I'm not showing these very well. Anyway, when they're a finished object, I hope to show them to you a little bit better. And that project is living in my Front Range Wonder Woman bag. The sweetheart over at Front Range Bags, I actually sent her this fabric, but while it was in transit to her, she found it at her local fabric store. And so it's sort of a custom make. She made a few more, and they sold out really quickly. And these are I went to Canada and I wanted something to keep with me and I'm doing other stuff. Super Lady Buttons, there's a Wonder Woman, and then Supergirl, Wonder Woman, and Batgirl, right? Yes, that's who that is on that button, because I'm a little bit nerdy. I refer to myself as Wonder Woman a lot, particularly with my partner, because he knows there was a time in my life when I truly believe I was Wonder Woman. So that's kind of another story, and we'll just see how the podcast goes to see if you hear that or not. I'm trying not to shake the camera. I'm sitting on my bed because there's really good light in here from the window. This is the rest of the Breakfast Cup colorway by Lolo Did It. I got mine on the sparkle yarn base. I'm not sure if you can see the sparkles, but it's really pretty, and there's colors in there that represent all the main characters in the movie Breakfast Club. If you haven't seen it, you should see it because it's a fantastic movie. The other project that I'm working on is another set of socks made out of lollipop yarn, because I kind of love lollipop yarn. These are going to be 2 at a time toe up. So there it is. This is called the, I'm going to say pajama because I like saying that way, but really I've probably said pajama my whole life. Here's what the ball looks like. I've split it into 2 equal balls. These balls come hand wound, so I basically unwound and then matched up the beginning colors because they both started on the pink, and then they'll go into this really beautiful speckly colorway. I love lollipop yarn. It was the first self-striping yarn I really heard a lot of people on Ravelry talking about, and it's really fun to buy it because it normally sells out in 2 minutes flat. She usually does 2 updates at a time, so it's, kind of set your alarm to get it, and it's very exciting. And then this this project bag is made by Lolo Did It, and I got this. She did an auction on Instagram, and I was the winning bid, so I got this project bag, and it's the only, I think of it as a Kleenex box. It's the only box shaped bag I have, but I really like it because you just kind of sit it down, and it has like a bullfrog mouth opening, and your yarn can just be out, and it's very manageable, especially for these 2 at a time socks. It's working out really well. So if you haven't tried one of those, I highly recommend that you try that. I also, I love podcasts, particularly knitting podcasts. Oh my God, are you serious? Am I out of battery? Or something. Okay, something just happened with my camera, so there was a little blip there, I'm sure, to show that there was a little blip there with my camera, so I had to go check it, make sure it was still recording. But anyway, so I don't remember where I left off. I'll just say again, I love this bag. It has a big bullfrog type mouth, and I really enjoy it. So if you haven't tried a box style bag, you should try it. Oh, and my front range bag has these really nice loops on the inside, so you can fold. It's got lots of pockets on the inside too, but you can fold the bag down, and you can have your yarn running through these loops, which is really, really nice. If you want to make sure your project is really secure and travel with it, this bag is great. If you haven't tried a front range bag, you should definitely try hers out because they're lovely. And if you have fabric that you like, you can send her just the main fabric, and she'll get the fabric that matches up with it. I mean, she's really awesome to work with, and her bags are really well made. I'm kind of obsessed with both Lolo Did It yarn and lollipop yarn, so I feel like you'll see several more projects made because I have some like picked out and set aside, earmarked for projects. I also wanted to talk to you about the knitting expat swap, which I participated in, and for the swap, the only thing that we had to exchange was a skein of local yarn, and that could be locally produced yarn or just, sorry, I have birds. That could be locally produced yarn or just locally dyed yarn, and my lovely swap partner Diane sent me this amazing yarn. It's called Annandale Alpacas is the place where it came from. And it's the most beautiful, happy colors, and I love it. She said that she picked this colorway because it looks so happy, like all of my stuff on Instagram and Facebook, which is nice. I try to always be a happy, positive person. I've worked at it for a really long time to be that way in my life now, and to hear that that kind of comes out through my social media when someone's kind of stalking you is amazing. This is a luxury yarn. It has alpaca, cashmere, and it's 50% alpaca, 30% merino, 10% silk, and 10% nylon. I don't know what I want to make out of this. Would you guys make socks out of it, or would you make something else? It's so soft. It feels like a cloud, and I love it, and it's so beautiful. Do I want to put it on my feet? I don't know. Help me out with that. I love this. She also sent me this beautiful rainbow sugar and cream yarn. I'm definitely going to make some dishcloths out of it. I did a swap at the end of last year with Knit One Geek 2, and I got some dishcloths, some nice big pink beautiful dishcloths in my package, and y'all, I use them in my bath. I love the way they feel on my face. I mean, they just feel amazing. I don't ever want to use a store-bought washcloth again, and I hope you don't think that's weird. Also in my package was delicious candy from a local candy shop, from Mally's Chocolates in Cincinnati, Ohio. These are gummy bears, and I want to eat all of these. I'm trying so hard not to open these and eat all of them at one time. There was a delicious dark chocolate bar from Mally's, and I've started it. I did not eat the whole bar at one time. I'll just share with you this much. I started Weight Watchers in January, and it's going very well. It is helping me to have some modicum of self-control, which I've never had before in my life, so I'm very excited about that. These are Buckeyes, you know, because Ohio is the Buckeye state. So this is chocolate-covered peanut butter, and there's 3 of these. I haven't eaten these yet, but don't worry, I love chocolate and peanut butter. I just haven't gotten there yet. Sometimes when it's time for me to have my sweet for the day, the only points I have left can be for sugar-free Jello, so no worries, I'm getting there. This is coffee. It's called Thanks a Latte. It's from the La Crema Coffee Company, and I wanted to have this morning, but I was dead set on showing off my swap package stuff on my podcast when I did it, so here it is. It's beautiful. I'm ready to drink this. She also sent me a selection of teas, which I haven't unwrapped yet. I should do that because I'm very excited about them. There's blueberry superfruit, which sounds delicious. Salted caramel mate. These are stash teas. I've never tried stash tea, you guys. Red velvet, which is one of my favorite things in the whole world. Sunny orange ginger. That sounds like me. Mango passion fruit. Mango! I'm sorry. Black forest black tea. Okay, so I've never had any stash tea. I'm 10 times as excited now because, you know, I mostly just have the, what is it? Not sleepy time. Celestial Seasonings is mainly what I have tried, so I'm excited. I got some soak samples to try. This is Flora. This is Aqua. This is a Eucalyptus, which is a grapefruit, which I'm super excited to try because I love citrus. And this is Soak in Scentless, which is also awesome. I'll probably use the Scentless for a gift item, just because I love smelly things, good smelly things. So I'm excited about that. And then her daughter made me a key sweater. I've got it on a key. You can barely see. This is the cutest thing ever, and I love it. And she's like, I hope you like it. It's all St. Patty's Day green. I'm super stoked about it, you guys. I'm super stoked about it. And I think it's precious that her daughter made me that. Not only did her daughter contribute to her swap package, her husband contributed a sticker out of his breakfast cereal for me because I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I love The Force Awakens. I love what I consider the real Star Wars movies, which are episodes 4, 5, and 6. And I acknowledge episodes 2 and 3, episode 1. Don't hate me, folks. I'm sorry. I've been a Star Wars fan for a long time. I'm 40. Did I mention I'm 40? And she sent me this cool notions holder, which looks like a little plastic tackle box. And she put all these notions are from her. They're all different kinds of stitch markers, including an adorable little sheep and a 4-leaf clover. I actually have a project picked out for the 4-leaf clover, but I haven't cast it on yet. That's a sheep, and this is the clover. And then there's one stitch marker I put in there because I took off a stitch marker I was using on something and put one of these locking ones on there. Anyway, it's super cool. It's super handy. I love it. It's got a giant string on it. So I just wanted to mention that. I have been enabled by some of my favorite podcasts. I want to mention the Grocery Girls as being one of my current favorite podcasts that I watch, because I saw some fingerless gloves that I think Tracy was knitting. Yes, it was Tracy that was knitting them. It was out of this yarn, which is from Neely's Knits. Let me show you her cute tag. I'm not sure how well this is showing up. Oh, that looks good. It's Neely's Knits on Etsy, and this is a kit. She sold it together, and she didn't have these listed, but I contacted her about a special order because I have a friend who is a super big fan of The Wizard of Oz. This is called I'm Melting, and so this is the black and green, like the stockings from the Wicked Witch of the West, and this is a beautiful red glitter. I don't want to call it a mini skein because it's fat. It's 100 yards. I would say it's a maxi skein of sparkle. And I'm thinking this might be fingerless gloves for my friend, but I'm not sure. I might make something else out of it. I'm open to suggestion. I don't have to finish this project until October. That's my personal goal. So if I get it done before October, that's great. And then I have some other favorite podcasts. Stacy from Stress Knits. Well, I don't know if I said this. She is one of the people that gave me the courage to try this on my own. So shout out to Stacy, and she loves Wool & Vine yarns. I have another skein of Wool & Vine yarn that I wound into a ball. It was the first one I bought. I haven't knit with it because I did something horrible. I tried to wind it on my own when I was a novice. I normally wind yarn with my husband's help, and it got to be a tangled mess. And when I wrestled the yarn out of being a tangled mess, it has all these buzz balls on it. If anyone can tell me if I can still knit with this yarn or if it's ruined forever, please let me know. I don't know if I can knit with it and then defuzz it. Pretty sure it's 100% merino, not superwash, but I'd have to find the tag. Again, I was newer and I didn't know to just kind of have everything together, so that's why it's in the shape it's in. But this is Wool & Vine yarns. In the Blitz base, Violet Star Galactica, and because I was such a huge Battlestar Galactica fan, and because I love purple, I got this. And I had been trying to catch an update of Kristen's for months and months, and I was having trouble. I would get something in my cart, and then when I would go to check out, it would say it was no longer available. And then she did some updates so things stay in your cart for like 5 whole minutes, so I was able to get this a couple of updates ago, and it just recently came, and I haven't taken it out of its plastic until today because I wanted to share it with you. I think this is going to be a Vildesmere. Is that her shawl, the mermaid? I'm not 100% sure because there's a couple of other shawl patterns I've seen recently that I want to make. And I forgot to bring my one shawl that I have ever knitted and finished in here. It's a hitchhiker. I love it. The yarn, I'll talk about it next podcast because I'll bring it and show it, and I'll tell you about the yarn and where I got it and the pattern and everything because it was gifted. But anyways, the other reason I wanted to have a podcast is because I would like to host some knit-alongs, because there are some things I want to knit that I would love to knit along with some other people. I find knit-alongs to be very inspiring for me to finish projects, and I'm in a couple of knit-alongs right now. I wrote them down so that I would be able to share with you. I'm doing the indie dyed cow with stress knits because my socks and my fingerless gloves will both fit in with those. And these socks are self-striping, so they'll go in with the Pin Feathers and Pearls Strappy Sock Cow. And those are the ones I'm participating in right now. There are others I would like to participate in, but I haven't cast on for them, so I'll be waiting to see if I get finished. But I'm thinking I would like to host a doodle. I'm thinking I would like to host a knit-along that starts in April, and it would be for the Doodler Shawl because I've already bought my yarn for that. Because I know it's a project that I would like. So why don't you let me know if this is something you are also interested in. We could either do just a doodler along, or we could do a shawl knit along, and you could participate in any other shawl cows you would like and double dip in mine. So let me know what you think. I'm gonna wrap up for today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.